So, um, here I am again. It's been a while since I've done a video for anything, and got my coffee. Yay! It is Christmas Eve. Mm, good stuff. And so I'm just coming on to kind of chit chat for a second, say hi, wish everybody an excellent and very Merry Christmas. We actually, in my family, we've already done all of our Christmas stuff tonight. And it's been like one of the best Christmases I've had in a very long time. Um, just spent it with Rebecca and Killian and Lilith and kind of our pseudo surrogate daughter Haley, and it's been nice. Very low stress, very cool. Um, so that was awesome. And of course, Killian gave me this awesome book. I don't know if you can see this, but on Industrial Light and Magic. These folks are, like some of my heroes. Great book. Lilith was baking cookies for me. Rebecca gave me these cool slippers, and you can't see, but whatever. And yeah, it's been a really cool day. So anyway, since it's one of the few days that kind of take off. The funny thing is, usually when I take off, I end up doing some work related stuff that's more for fun because I actually enjoy the stuff that I do. So anyway, what you see on the screen here is something I was messing around with. Is this working on really honing some techniques with in-cloth simulations, or not in-cloth, excuse me, nucleus hair simulations inside Maya, and just really fun stuff. It was mostly because I was kind of inspired by going back. I rewatched like Pirates of the Caribbean and saw the new Star Wars the other day and rewatched all the old Star Wars stuff leading up to that, and I realized I hadn't been watching movies as much as I used to, and that's always been kind of a big inspiration for me for a lot of stuff that I do is the effects and just all the cool stuff in movies. So anyway, I took some time to really tweak out some things, and just because I think most of the folks who watch any of the videos that I post are kind of they're probably into CG art or art of some kind. Um, the general workflow to this began like so much of my stuff inside ZBrush, and here you can see where I've got all these fiber mesh curves. And this is something that, because so much of what I do is for poser users and for the hobbyist market, in the 3D content markets, there's a lot of this kind of high-end stuff that I kind of know how to do that I don't get to do as often as I would like. Potential clients, you should come fix that problem. So anyway, I wanted to mess around with this. I was just watching all kinds of stuff, and it was like, man, I really need to play with those things and bust some of those skills out again, just for myself, just for the fun of it. So, like, if we go into our fiber mesh, excuse me, we can, turn on our previews, and here you can see oh, there we go. This is, I kept my number of strands down pretty low because this is really just to sculpt this hair out and test out some different things about taking hair curves, fiber mesh curves out of ZBrush and over into Maya. So ran this down to like 50%, somewhere around that, exported curves, and then took it over into Maya. And there's a whole process that at some point, there's, I don't want to say who yet, but there's a publisher of tutorials, really high-end tutorials, who I'm talking to right now. Hopefully, sometime next month. There's a bunch of paperwork in place, so I know this is going to happen, but I don't want to say any names or anything until I get the go ahead to go ahead and say that stuff publicly. But sometime around the beginning of next year, in the first quarter, hopefully you should start seeing some pretty high-end tutorials from me coming out from this particular source, and hopefully I'll get to cover this in one piece then. So I'm not going to go into super detail here, but here you can see Here we've got like my original mesh, which I used my Scarlet figure because she's mine and I love her. And then here is a proxy of that that's had the resolution taken down. And I've just done a quick rig in it for the upper spine, a couple of neck joints, and a head joint that I then did a quick animation on, just kind of a little headbang in there, you know. And then we've brought in the curves created from ZBrush and converted those to in-hair, which is really just nucleus particles, but it's called in-hair in here. And then so we've converted it to in-hair, and then converted that to paint effects strokes, and then converted those to polygons and applied a texture to them. And I know there's some real differences in the way I do that. Some things that I like to do with that that are probably a little different than what you might see in some of the different tutorials and things and YouTube videos that you'll find about doing hair inside Maya. But there's a number of reasons that I like doing this. I like having a polygonal output for my hair, and it's just there's so much versatility in it. So anyway, yeah, this is what I've kind of spent the latter part of my day just kind of hanging out, playing around with this, and here you can see a cached animation test of this stuff, and you know, it's just it's a lot of fun. So anyway, this is oh, hey Tony, this is you know, just something that I don't know. It's nice to have a nice little holiday where, you know, where I can take a little break and just go back and do some of this stuff for the sheer fun of it. And you know, this is some of the goofy kind of technical crap that I end up bumping out when I'm allowed to do that. So anyway, yeah, that's just sort of what I've spent my day doing. And you know, after all the Christmas stuff, you know, it's like just been really cool. So anyway, all that to say, hope you folks are, you know, hope, you know, artists who are watching this keep making some artwork. Have a good new year. Keep your heads up. You know, keep working. Remember, you know, you can do this. You know, you don't have to be in California to do this. You don't have to be in one of the big cities. I mean, we're in Cincinnati. It's not a huge city, but you know, you don't have to be on one of the coasts necessarily. You don't have to be at some gigantic studio to do this stuff. There's actually a lot out there that us little folks who maybe don't want to go through all the rigmarole of that life can still have and contribute and do really cool things in CG and in art. And you know, sometimes it can be a little I guess overwhelming. You know, you think about giant productions and all that stuff, but there's still a lot of places that the little guys can contribute and be a part of things. So, you know, if I have any message to anybody coming out of you know, this kind of, we've had a few up and down years, and you know, things are pretty good right now. And if I can share any message with anybody going into the new year and all that stuff, it's keep your head up. You know, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do the stuff or that it's a bad idea or whatever, because if you love it and you have the discipline to work at it and a passion for it, then you should definitely do it. So anyway, yeah, that's just I just wanted to come on and kind of say some stuff, show a little bit of what's going on in my day. You know, really dig the book Killing got me, and Lilith making cookies, and yeah, it's just been cool. It's been good to have a family day and have a good Christmas. So all that said, yeah, thanks for watching my stuff. Thanks for supporting what we do. Thanks for supporting my artwork, and I hope you folks all have a Merry Christmas.